Look, we know that there's going to be a lot of trade speculation this offseason, not just for the Sixers, but in general. With the new CBA, the new constraints, teams are going to try to dip below that apron and might have to move on from some guys they may not have before. Of course, the Sixers will be at the top of the talks when it comes to free agents, trades, etc. They have the most flexibility. They have a lot of roster spots and really just, the full ability to go out there and build a contender around Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. And we'll get into all of it. We've talked about some max contracts and players and third star potentials, but there is one trade target. There is a dream target above the rest. And does that sound familiar at all? Well, it might, because I made this same exact video at the trade deadline. And I knew at that point that it probably wouldn't have happened. I still don't think it's that realistic, but Lauri Markkanen would make this Sixers team a championship contender right then and there. I really believe that. And if there is any way that they can go out and get this guy, they need to pull all the strings, man. They need to try to make it happen this offseason. We'll talk about the likelihood of this happening, how it could happen, and why the Sixers should make him their top priority. But welcome in to Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Like the video if you enjoy this content. We'll have you covered all off season. And subscribe to the show. Share it around to a friend as we continue to pump out this content. Let me know your thoughts, Sixer Nation. Who's your dream target this off season? Give me thoughts down in the comments section. I put this on Twitter this morning. Lauri Markkanen would be the perfect fit next to Joel Embiid. And by the way, I've seen the comments saying, well, it's Larry. No, it's Laurie. All right. At first I was calling him Larry. Then people are getting all mad. The vocab wizards. No, it's Laurie. Now I'm calling him Laurie. Now they're saying it's Larry. I don't care what his name is. I'll call him whatever he wants to be called if he ends up in a Sixer jersey. Because this guy is special, man. He is a unicorn. Maybe didn't start out his career the best way possible. Probably in not the best situation for him. But man, has he improved after winning the most improved player. And he is just, an amazing piece on a team. And I really think he'd be the perfect fit next to Joel Embiid. And I'll talk about why. But let's go ahead and first, as we always do, go take a look at the contract situation. Lauri Markkanen, what type of contract is he on? Is he up for an extension? Will he be moving on? The Jazz have a big decision to make because this next year going into it is the last year of Markkanen's deal. He'll have $18 million this upcoming year on the cap hit. But it is likely that he signs an extension somewhere this offseason, right? He does not want to go into this last year. The Jazz probably don't want to go into this year and have a chance of him leaving as an unrestricted free agent. So he's about to get a big payday. The question is, where will it be? You look at the Utah Jazz. They have not performed well in the last few years. Everybody thought this was going to be their leap up year. And once again, they kind of just sunk down to the bottom. And there's different reasons for that, but maybe it's just a lot of growing pains. I think where it comes down to is, does Danny Ainge want to sit there and go, let me trade Markkanen, get 3 to 4 first-round picks, get some pick swaps in order to make this team better in the next 2 years and give us more assets to build with rather than paying Markkanen, $40 million per year and having him just be one of the integral pieces of this core? Like, what is the benefit of trading him, and can they maybe land some more prospects down the road? That's where I'm looking at this, because when it comes to this guy on the floor, I mean, he's incredible, but is he that guy? Is he a number one? I think Markkanen in Philadelphia is just a perfect fit because he checks all the boxes that this Sixers team is needed. And I've been saying it for about 2 years now. They need rebounding at the 4. They need a guy who can take pressure off the shoulders of Joel Embiid. And once again, we saw that in the playoffs. Markkanen has elite ball handling skills. He's an adequate defender. I'm not going to say he's a lockdown by any means, but he's got the length, the versatility. He can play in the high post, the low post when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. He can take a lot of pressure off the shoulders of Embiid and Maxey as well. And he did average 8 rebounds per game this last year. By the way, he averaged 23 points per game, 8 rebounds, and he shot 40% from 3. He shot 90% from the free throw line. This guy has all the tools that it takes. There have been questions about durability. He has been injured, so I do think that's something to keep an eye on. But overall, man, the way he has blossomed into his career, and I believe he's only, 27? Or he's going to be 27 this next year. former lottery pick. I mean, this guy has what it takes, to be a main part on a championship team, in my opinion. And obviously, I feel like his talent is being wasted a bit in Utah, but you always have to be careful doing business with a guy like Danny Ainge, because Danny Ainge is probably going to demand a king's ransom. And actually, there was an article put out based on, what the Jazz would be expecting in a trade. This was on Inside the Jazz on the FN network, and it was written by Patrick Burns. Rumored asking trade price for Jazz forward Larry Markkinen is eye-opening. If the latest rumor is true, any speculation that Jazz forward Markkinen might be traded this offseason can be put to bed, and this has been the constant rumor for the last however long. But I will remind you that the same things were said about Donovan Mitchell. The same things were said about Rudy Gobert, and look at what Danny Ainge did. Danny Ainge doesn't care. If he views an opportunity with a lot of growth potential and he thinks there is, a winning trade there, sure, you got to be careful dealing with him, but he's going to make it regardless. If he gets an overwhelming offer that goes over the top, he's going to pull the trigger, in my opinion. So I'm not taking any words, for what they are right now. I'm just going through and seeing how this offseason plays out. But according to Jazz beat writer Tony Jones of The Athletic, the price to pry Markkinen from the Jazz is pretty steep. In a big picture, Markkinen's value to the Jazz is so great, it's going to take an offer that's probably not going to come, something like 4 or 5 first-round picks. And, we saw what the Jazz got for Gobert and Mitchell. So, look, man, this is what Danny Ainge does. He tries to swing for the fences and gets the best value back in return. Maybe they are okay with paying Markkinen, but I just view him as literally the best target for the 76ers because, he's just absolutely incredible, man. With everything he does on the floor, he would fill so much void for this team. I think the issue, though, even from the Sixers side of it, is when Morey evaluates the options this offseason, he's going, do I want to give up all these future assets that I just collected and then having to pay Markkinen on top, which would also probably not allow you to go out and get many other players, or do I want to go out and pay the big-time money to a Paul George or a Jimmy Butler, save my assets, just like my draft pick in the first round this year, and the second round, and then try to draft a couple other of these guys. So, look, I don't know if Morey would be interested, but if there was an opportunity and Markkinen was to be had, I think the Sixers should be at the top of the list. And Larry Markkinen actually did talk about this, I think it was a week ago, on an exit press conference at the end of the season, where they asked him if he wants to sign an extension and be with the Jazz long-term. Let's hear what he had to say.
We love to be here. I've said it multiple times, and my family likes to be here, and I've been emphasizing the winning part too. So we gotta sit down after the season. But yeah, obviously, I don't want to be the guy who, I've seen the NBA part of people turning get down extensions and or signing them too early. Kind of see everything. So I gotta sit down and think about it.
So Markkinen pretty much said, I've been through some trades. I've been through the business side of things, and I've seen guys turn down a lot of money. Essentially, he wants to be paid. Of course he does, and he deserves it. But the question is, where will it be? What does he see as his future in Utah, and what do they see as their future as a team? Do they think they can compete in the next year or so? So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but there's going to be a lot of wild rumors this offseason. I could see a lot of big-time trade targets, and that's what the NBA reporters are reporting. So can the Sixers go out and land a big-time target? This would be an absolute dream, and it would make the Sixers a championship contender. Give me your thoughts down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.